Yesterday I went to log into my Pinterest account as usual because I'm in there a lot. And I have four separate accounts on Pinterest. Two of them at this point are personal accounts because one used to be business, but I converted it because I got rid of that website. And two are business accounts. So I go onto Pinterest, and first of all, it had logged me out. Now, when I see that, I know that something bad has happened because Pinterest doesn't usually log you out unless they've done something to your account. And sure enough, I went to log in, and one of my accounts was missing from the list of accounts. And I'm like, okay, this isn't good. So I went to log into that account, and it says, your account has been suspended for, I forget, unusual activity. Okay. What I had done that day, I'll get into that, but it wasn't that unusual, I didn't think. But this is the time of year, this is August, and in the summer, Pinterest is slower than usual normally, and they usually take this time, based on what I've seen, they take this time of year to kind of suspend accounts if weird things happen. So I think they basically go in and turn up their spam filters, and then if you happen to do something that triggers their little filter, the bots will suspend your account. Now, this happened to me before. In 2020, there was a lot of account suspensions going on. Everybody was having their accounts suspended because they had turned their spam filters up real high. And it was all in the summer. It was the same kind of thing. And at that point, I had appealed it. They kept reinstating my accounts, then they would suspend it again, then they reinstate it again. It was a mess. And it was happening to a lot of people. So I knew that this was probably just a mistake. I hadn't been doing anything spammy, I hadn't been doing anything against the terms of use. At the same time, you do a little freak out because you put a lot of work into this account. I didn't want to lose my Pinterest account. And they did reinstate it, by the way. But all I did, I went in and I appealed the decision. I said, I think this was done in error. Please take a look at the account and let me know what happened. And I got a little confirmation email back that said, it looks like your account is suspended. We'll have an expert look at it and we'll get back to you. Okay, so that was yesterday. This morning I woke up and the account is back. Now, they didn't email me to say, hey, sorry, we made a mistake. They didn't send me any reason for it, and they usually don't. So if this happens to you, number one, like I said, I have four accounts. So I'm not going to go in and do anything crazy like pin multiple times a day to any of those other accounts because now I know that this is the time of year when Pinterest is doing this, so they must have started. And I will tell you exactly what I was doing in that account that got noticed. Whatever it was that they got that was noticed, this is what I was doing. The first thing I did is I edited my profile to change the description a little bit. That's all. I just added some keywords or I rephrased things a little bit. So that was the first thing. I then created two boards. So I created two new boards and I moved some pins from one board to the more specific board because I wanted to put like a different category. I wanted to make a different category of things. So I moved some things that I had pinned already from one board to another. But I did that for two brand new boards. Okay. The third thing I did was I went to an outside website where I sell things and I pinned some things directly from there to this account. Those are the three things that I did. That's all I did. None of that is unusual activity. But one of those things got noticed by Pinterest and they suspended my account. So, what should you do if the same thing happens to you? Well, first of all, in the summer, be really careful. And I would say in August, because it does seem to happen in August a lot. August, like I said, is technically or typically is just very slow for Pinterest traffic in general because a lot of people are on vacation. Usually, traffic is busy up until the 4th of July and then it drops off because people are planning parties and stuff up until then. But after that, the school is out in the US, they're on vacation, they're not planning big get togethers. And then when back to school happens, things start to pick up again a little bit. And a lot of this is going to depend on what category you're in, but it's not unusual to have traffic drops in the summer on Pinterest. It's just is normal. So I'm seeing some of my accounts are increasing, but a lot of them that are food and party related are dropping a little bit during the summer, but that's totally normal. It's going to pick up again in the fall. Don't worry. But just in the summertime, be careful about thinking, oh my gosh, my traffic is dropping. I need to pin more. Because like I said, in August, this seems to be when Pinterest kind of comes in and changes the algorithm a little bit. They adjust things because it's a slow time and they're in there messing around and they start suspending accounts just because why not? It's something to do. I don't know what the reason is. because they don't explain it, but this tends to be when it happens. So in August, be very careful about your Pinterest activity. Don't do anything unusual. Don't ramp it up. If you're pinning once a day, don't pin 10 times a day all of a sudden. Just don't do anything weird that could be cause for Pinterest looking at your account and saying this is unusual activity. Okay. If your account is suspended and if you weren't doing anything wrong, or even if you are not sure if you were doing something wrong, go ahead and appeal it. And you can either do that through the email that they send you. They will send you an email that says your account was suspended for unusual activity, and it'll say like learn more here or something like that. But in the Pinterest, I think it's under your profile, there's a place where you can contact Pinterest, or you just search their help section to contact Pinterest. You're going to have to fill out your username, and there was a suggestion that before this happens, go into your settings and take a screenshot of all that information, like your username, the email that it's associated with, and all that kind of stuff, because that way you have it. And it's not unusual for them to suspend accounts. Generally, they do reinstate them, but it's good to have that information because they will ask for your username and they will ask for the email that's associated with the account. Then you fill that in and you send it in, and they will say, hey, your account's been suspended, but we'll look at it. And then they will either unsuspend it, and that usually happens within a few days. For me, it happened very quickly this time. I think it's taken a couple days in the past, and then, or they won't unsuspend it. Now, if they don't unsuspend your account, you can start a new Pinterest account. You can start a new Pinterest account and just go ahead and do that, but just be careful. A lot of people pin too much. A lot of people pin the same URL too many times. And if you do that, then it's going to get your account suspended for spam. But a lot of times you're not doing any of that stuff and you still get suspended because they have their bots turned up and they just see something that they think is weird and they just suspend the account. So don't panic. If this happens, don't panic. Just file an appeal and make sure that you get a response, because they will send you a response that says, we received your email, we'll look into it. And you may never get another email after that, but keep checking back to see if your account has shown up again. And if your account is suspended, you will not be able to find it in the search. You won't be able to log into the account. You won't be able to find it or log in. But once it's reinstated, you'll be able to see it again. And if you do see it, but you can't get to the business part of it by clicking on anything, go to the login page and log in to that account like you would if you were logged out. And usually that will reset it and you'll be able to access everything again. So I hope this doesn't happen to you because it's a big pain, but don't panic if it does. Give this video a thumbs up, and I will talk to you later.